And in 3, 2, 1, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 75 of the Prehistoric podcast.
Wait, we're not doing a friend review?
Yeah, I'm confused now, too. There's only us two.
What the fuck?
Okay, I gotta go check something quick.
On this episode...
Brad!
He's gone, I guess.
I think
again.
Brad's gone. So yeah, this is a short-staffed episode of the Friend Review. You pay for what you get what you pay for.
Which is nothing.
Patreon hasn't been kind to us because we didn't set one up. So yeah, I don't know what else to say to you. But
no one's funded our non-existent Kickstarter, our GoFundMe that doesn't exist. Also, no love there.
We haven't been begging you to pay. We haven't been begging you to give us money. So fuck all of you for not doing that.
Not just offering. Like, why aren't you just offering?
Why aren't you just giving
Why
us
doesn't
money?
someone start us a GoFundMe?
You know how much it costs to get Brad Pederson on this podcast? He's a business tycoon, lord of industry.
We've been sacrificing our dignity for years. Time to ante up there, team.
Mm-hmm. All right, so did I say episode 75 of the Prehistoric podcast?
We are only 25 away from the
big
triple
goal.
digits, which means that we're actually only. Oh God, I'm terrible at math. This is so embarrassing. We
13.
are 13 away.
It's like you gotta count the. Okay, so here's the thing. So we had a big goal for this year. We wanted to at the end of the year, we want to do a big sort of, I don't know if rebrand or reboot or what the word
Just
is.
freshen things up.
Freshen things up. We want to. The frequency of guests on the podcast has been increasing. What you might have noticed, and I'm not talking just like fuckhead friends of ours, but I'm talking about like
real people that are doing stuff.
that are doing stuff, making names,
Yeah.
making moves, and we have a nice, cute little like
Wayne's World kind of
setup here.
Actually, one of our flags is down. You can see the concrete walls.
Oh yeah, that's embarrassing.
Whatever.
We're in the nude.
Yeah. Whatever. There's two of us.
So yeah, we got a cute little Wayne's World setup going on here. But it would be nice, we have thought, if we had a space that was a little more put together, a little more professional looking, a little more
indicative of what we are capable of.
Yeah,
basically.
sort of. Yeah, that's a good.
Because
way
I
to
think
put it.
there's a big disparity between. And you know what? Part of this is like we choose this set because it fits. It's easy. It's not doesn't cost us anything to maintain.
Yeah.
And we just want to get more serious about the podcast. Maybe looking at a more structured, at least prepared for content with the podcast in terms of guests and just in terms of our own
and regularity and things like that.
And then it's the other thing is like if we ever want to get sponsors, which is a thing that we would obviously anyone would like in doing what we're doing, it's a lot easier when you have a much more professional looking product for them to put their name on.
And I think it might just garner a little more interest from prospective guests,
from people that we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't
like from word of mouth, if they're just like, yeah, there's this podcast that's got a very professional setup down there that treats you well.
And I mean, like, we're not going to get rid of the 12 podcasts at Christmas.
No, that's never going away.
If anything, it'll just be even better.
It'll get
crazier,
which is hard to sort of imagine.
Well, that's one of the things. Like, I was thinking this year we rent out fucking Prairieland Park.
Like we go big year three.
I think this is the fourth year of the 12 podcast.
Oh, it is the fourth 12. Right, our very first podcast ever was the 12 podcast.
I always forget about that.
That's hilarious.
I was such a crazy, like, you had just gotten back from Vancouver, and you're like, so I was thinking right away, first thing, we have a week to film them. I was a week and a half.
We tried filming them all in like
It was less than 2 weeks. No, it might have just been 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was rough.
No,
We didn't succeed. Was the thing.
No, we filmed them all.
Oh yeah, but they
every year we filmed all of them.
They were released until like February the first year.
Second year we got a little bit better.
Yeah.
But still utterly fail. And then last year we were on the fucking ball.
We nailed it.
This year will be more of the same, just because it felt so good last year.
Yeah. No, that was good. We had a good structure last year.
Plus, it was like I feel like the other 2 years, because we had to like rush to film all of them, there was a bunch of them where it's like, yeah, like we're gonna talk about the same thing in like half of them, over and over and over again.
No, it was good to have last year with the structure that we had
with the guests and
we had the different thing every time, the different booze every time. Yeah, no, it was good. It kept it fresh, I think. And then the last one, everybody who I talked to that watched the last one says it was just awesome.
Brad was just a madman.
Yeah. So essentially our goal is to get to 100 this year, to finish 100 podcasts.
With the 12th episode of the 12 podcasts of Christmas.
The 100th podcast. And then podcast 101 will be our big relaunch. And we want a new set and we want new, I think we're going to see, I want to start filming in 4K. It'd be nice. We'll see if that's feasible. But
if we can get our computer situation figured out, it would be very feasible.
Yeah.
If we don't, then
it won't be.
But either way, the set is gonna be different. I think we're gonna look at I don't know, more prepared, so we don't just keep repeating ourselves, because I think it's really everyone when they talk has patterns. I think with us, especially when we're podcasting, if we don't come into it with we want to talk about X, Y, Z, we get stuck in a loop of like the same 5 topics or so that we fall back on, and that's why we keep repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I just think, I don't know. You and I both consume podcasts, and there isn't like a set way that you have to do them.
No.
But one thing that I like is when a podcast has like bits to it, or like there's like a thing they do every segments, I guess. Like it's different depending on like for some it's like a bit because it's like a comedy type thing. Some of them it's like a segment, but I feel like that even if it's just one thing, it gives the whole episode structure around that one 5 or whatever 10, 15 minute thing, and then it's still free form and you don't have to do anything more than that.
Yeah.
But
it makes it a little bit easier to plan for.
Yeah. So I think we've been talking about that for a while, but and we just got to find something that feels right. We've tried a bunch of stuff, and I mean the Would You Rathers were like good, but like they just dry up so quick. Like it's tough to think of them on the fly. And,
Would You Rather is definitely something that like if you had like a list of 300 of them before you started.
It's just like I can never think of good ones on my own, and then I go to the list and they're all basically like some version of would you rather suck a dick or this, or they're like so easy. It's like would you rather get $1 million or like $2 million?
Here's a question. I heard this one the other day. Would you rather be alone for a year or never be alone for a year?
Alone for a year.
Alone for a year?
Absolutely.
Really?
I like being around people, but I hesitate to say introvert, extrovert, because it's like that's just such a thing that has been like thrown around so much, and I find that if I look at like myself over 2 weeks spending time with family, it's like if I'm constantly around people, I'm way more exhausted than if I'm by myself basically for a year or for a week. So I imagine, and plus if the only thing is like, it's like if I can still like do all the shit that I normally do, like I'm not maybe no social media, but other than that I can still use the internet. I can still like
I would say shit. Social media, you can't interact with anybody over social media, but it's like you can look at things. The whole thing is like I think the whole thing is you can't interact with people for a year.
Yeah, hands down I'd do that over constant, like always there's someone there, like physically. Oh yeah, there. Yeah, no
that's the thing. There's
this is why
basically there's always at least, the way I see it, there's always at least one person in the room with you.
Yeah, that I would go fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, I don't know. How about you?
I thought about it for a while because I definitely have a personality where I always say this. It's like I don't need to be around people, but I need the option to be around people all the time.
Yeah, I'm very similar.
And
yeah.
if I don't have the option to be around people, I get very lonely very quickly. Or maybe lonely's not the right word, but we'll use lonely. But so I was thinking about it. It's like I would hate the idea that I wasn't gonna talk to a person for like even a week without talking to a person. I'd be like, ugh, that drives me kind of nuts. But as I saw, so there's one of two ways. It depends on what was going to happen in that year. If that year I wanted to get nothing done, well, not get nothing done, but if in that year I had no plan, basically, then I would have to choose to be around people the whole time because like there's no way I could spend a year aimless, basically.
Yeah, no. If you had like tasks, goals you were going for.
If I was like
milestones.
this year I have to do this many things, and if I like kept my if I had it scheduled to the point where it's like I was able to keep myself busy for a whole year, which would be fun.
I think you would just naturally do that if you were like
had nothing else.
If you had total freedom other than not interacting with people. I feel like look at the shit that people in solitary confinement do, and they're confined in both interaction with people and like their surroundings. Like if you were just
there's some countries, and that was the other thing I was thinking about. Is like they say that solitude can make a person insane, and there's some countries where solitary confinement is not a legal way to punish people.
It is, but I think it's all about the context too, right? Because think about this though: there are people who pay thousands of dollars to go on a meditative retreat where it's if there are other people, there's no talking.
Yeah.
And for the most part, you are alone for months at a time. And you don't go crazy in that context.
No, I guess with the prison thing is more like
it's forced confinement.
In a tiny room with
and you're
white
in a box.
walls.
Exactly. There's no other stimulation is the big thing.
Yeah.
I feel like being on your own for that long would suck. But if you could like you said, keep yourself occupied in a variety of ways. Like
it's a big world. There's a lot to read and a lot to do and a lot to watch.
Especially if it's not like you're confined to like a cabin in the woods, where it's like you're also limited in your ability to like do shit. Like if I could just go do shit on my own, like still go to the movies but on my own and not interact with people. If I'm just essentially a ghost, more or less.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's still existing in my world. Yeah, I would choose no interaction with people.
Solitude.
Yeah, I think having someone constantly around.
That's the only thing is like I would have to get very real with people. I would have to be like.
Can you only shit in public bathrooms? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, sure. Let's say that. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some leeway with the like. You have to be like if you go shit, you have to be in a house with people, but like
someone's right outside the door and you can they're
go
there.
In, you shit, you come out.
Like they don't have to stare at you while you shit or piss, but like they're right there and you know they're there. Like you're not really alone, but you are.
Well, no,
private.
How is this? It's more like let's say you were sitting on a couch watching something with somebody, and then you have to stand up and be like, I'm going to go take a shit now, and like they're sitting there and you have to go take your shit and come back essentially, so they know.
I would just abuse that. I'd be like, I gotta take a shit.
So. No, that's the thing though. That's what I'm saying. In this hypothetical world, you can't.
You can't. Yeah. There's no way around it.
But there's other stuff too, that require solitude. Or not necessarily, I guess. But
well, I mean, like,
you'd have to get very real with people about some stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Just be like, here's what's up. There's certain things I gotta do, and you're gonna have to watch, and that's it. That'd be nice. That actually, now that I think about it, if you had a significant other, that is one nice thing. Actually, now that I think about it, if it was your significant other, it would be much easier to spend a year with them without contact, because it's like that is somebody that. Sort of by virtue of nonverbal contract.
If you think about living,
you have to be more real with them, anyways.
Well, I'm thinking if you're living with that person, you're already spending like a lot of your time with them.
Yeah, it's like for Brad, for instance. For him, that probably wouldn't be a very challenging thing at all.
No, he lives that way.
Basically,
already.
anyways. Yeah.
I don't think he goes more than like a couple hours a day without.
Yeah, when I think of it in the context of. Because the person I am with my significant other is totally different than the person I am with just people. I think that's true for everybody.
Like, I think there's layers. Like, you just open up more with.
Yeah, but I mean, even the way I sort of react towards, because like we all know I'm famously bitchy in the morning. Thomas even said I laughed so fucking hard. Thomas stayed here the other night.
Oh, like that after the birthday thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
And anyways, he left sometime in the morning, and I woke up at like noon or 1 or sometime, anyways. And he was gone, and he left a bunch of stuff here, and I'm like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I just went home to keep sleeping. And I'm like, you gotta come back here to get your stuff. Like, why wouldn't you just stay here? And he's like, oh, well, I woke up and I kind of wanted to do stuff, but I didn't want to wake you up because I knew you would eat my head off. And I was like, that's hilarious. And yeah, that was very funny. But anyways, yeah, famously, I'm known for being bitchy in the morning. But significant other, for instance, like that's somebody I would never bitch at in the morning. Doesn't matter.
But there's ways of being bitchy without.
Oh, no, like I said, I'm not usually verbally bitchy. Mine is like just a presence.
Just a presence of.
It's like a very aggressive, very hateful.
It's not hateful. It's more just like you get the sense that everything that's happening to you is just such a fucking inconvenience, and it's just like whatever. It's more. I know how to just have it be funny now. Mm-hmm. But like when we were first like doing stuff and we had to get up, it was like such a thing where I'm like, oh my god, no, I don't want to deal with this. Like, just let him sleep. Like, fuck it, we'll cancel that thing and we'll just fuck it. If you want us before noon, like, go away. It's not happening.
Don't want to have to look at my face.
But no,
but yeah, with significant other, it's just that somebody that I'm such a little. I want to say a little bitch, but I'm such a little. I try to please, I guess, in that situation, and it's like I'm just like I just for that one person, they're like, you just wake me up whenever you want. It's like I'll go do anything you want me to do.
Now you should extend that.
I wouldn't say like that sounds really bad. Not in that kind of a way, but more just like I don't know how to put it. I just don't. I guess it's like I just don't have that grumpy thing. Just doesn't really apply to my significant other. I guess like it's
you know who that also shouldn't apply to?
Who?
Your two fucking business partners. If you end up marrying any significant other from now on, assuming it's not someone you've already known,
okay,
Brad and I will have known you for longer than this significant other.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just
I've never had a significant other that I haven't known.
You only date outside.
When was Brad's centennial? Because that's the first time I met you.
I mean, we met, but like I would even say counting, like when we officially met in Brad's basement suite. Okay. After that Sastoberfest thing 5 years ago, yeah,
an inordinate amount of time together.
So even if you count
so much time, I would say that other people like just don't spend this much time together.
That's the thing. It's weird. Like, and this is partly, I guess, my own life. But like, sometimes I forget that other people are good. Like, I only really interact with, like, obviously, like, not like interact, like obviously, like people throughout the day, but like have extended social contact with you and Brad and Thomas when he's here and Dallas, kind of like Dallas will be like pretty tertiary just because he runs in different circles and does different shit. But yeah, like, other than that, I don't really interact. I don't want.
I mean, that's a weird thing because I was kind of thinking about that the other day too. I think it's a product of not being where you were, like, raised essentially. I guess like because like in Vancouver too. If I think about when I was there, it's like I hung out with the same people. It's not like I had 3 or 4 groups that I was hanging out with. It was like I basically hung out with the same people all the time, and even if I was hanging out with different people, it was just like smaller sects of the same people. Like it wasn't.
Well, I feel like the other thing too is like because we are self-employed, it's not like we have like who are our work friends. It's you
friends.
Who are our like. So it's like we fill so many roles for each other because of the nature of what we do, and then for me being a dad also, like that eats up my time.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Tremendously. And like I talk to people like, oh, you should join like a single parents group. It's like, yeah, every single one of them is about single moms. Like I don't really want to join like a mommy and me like.
Why don't you go with a single mom? Group. Maybe you'll go single mom group. Maybe you'll find some fucking bombshell.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. It just seems like that's the other thing is I'm so self-conscious with that whole thing just because of interactions I've had with people and like and my son and like going to the grocery store and people like giving mom a break and like just like weird looks at the park and like
very ruthless environment.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like
everybody thinks they know how to raise your kid,
and the double standard that exists there, right? Like, not double standard. That's the wrong word, but like just like not to rehash the feminism thing, but it cuts both ways. Like,
yeah.
People just assume that because you're a guy. It's like, oh, what a fucking you're around a kid, like you're fucking creepy. It's like, well, no, I have a son and I'm taking him to the park.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And it's not everybody. It's not even close to everybody. No. But the negative interactions get in your head, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to like go to some mommy and me group and have everyone think I'm a fucking creep because I want to join this parent group or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know it's mostly just unfounded, but anyways, point being, I'm a lonely loser.
There are those fucking people that like straight, because there are like still in this day and age, there are people who are like it is a man and a woman raising a child. That is what it is, and that is what it needs to be. Single parents, not a thing.
Protect it with
Gay
a ring.
parents, not a thing, and it is protected with a ring.
Yeah. And
like, yeah, so that exists. It's not like that doesn't exist, and it just takes one person like that to fucking kibosh a day.
Yeah, it's like you try not to let it get to you, and it's not like it happens as often as I imagine other discrimination. I hate even using that word in this context, but other like shit like that happens. But it's like, yeah, it definitely is a blow. It's like, I'm not giving mom a break. I'm raising my son. Like, that's another one is I'll hear parents, usually male parents, be like, yeah, I'm babysitting my kid. It's like, no, you're raising your child. Like that, like if you're a parent and you're taking care of your child, you're not babysitting.
It's such a warped.
Yeah.
The whole, because it's like.
Also, the bar that's set too is like, it's like, to be a good dad is like, oh, like you're taking your kid to the park, or like you have your son for the day. Like you're such a good dad because you're giving mom.
It's like you're giving you're putting in any effort essentially is the thing, and it's like that's
such a bullshit thing.
Yeah, it's like that's so bad.
The bar is so low.
It's like what movie was I was just watching last night. I just watched a movie called He Just Know That Into You. I don't know why I decided to watch that movie. I guess I
watched that a long time ago.
Hadn't seen it in a while, so I just thought it'd be a thing to throw on. But anyways, in that movie, there's a scene where Jennifer Aniston has a dad. Dad has a heart attack. Dad is bedridden. So she like asks this group of brother-in-laws that she has. She's like, hey, could you guys go to the grocery store and pick up this, because his dad needs to eat that or whatever. And then she leaves. She does some shit. She comes back after a while, and then she sees them like watching a football game or playing a video game or something. I can't remember. But anyway, she's like, hey, did you guys go to the grocery store? And they're like, no, we're good. We got takeout, so it's like, we're good. And then she's like, no, it wasn't for you. It was for Dad, whatever. Yeah. And then Ben Affleck like comes in, and he's a really good guy, and just is like, hey, I did that, yeah, basically. And with his dick, yeah. Ben Affleck, I wonder what his dick's like. Man, now I'm curious. But I'm gonna have to do some research on the internet. But but yeah. So I saw that, and obviously that's a movie in a very exaggerated scenario. But I have talked to people that it's like there is with some people, and I like even to an extent in parts of my own family I've seen where there is this attitude of because we've talked about gender roles before, but it's like there are these weird gender roles where it's not because there's like an argument to some, I would say, when it comes to like strength and like nature, and you can see that kind of stuff, but it's like and there's those arguments, but there are some gender roles that are completely just societal kind of, and
they
like
totally are, and just arbitrary too,
and like the ones that like women should be like cook and do like
to me the one that gets me is like that grocery shopping is a like a woman's, like, that's such a weird one because it's like it's like
And cleaning's the other one for me. That's like really weird.
Well, that's one that like I think, especially now, it's such a good thing that like I want to say women don't put up with it because they're like the victims of this gender role. Often,
well, it just seems like everybody's not.
Yeah,
because it's like once again with me, it's like it's I'm not interested in being a dirty person, and I don't want to be expected to be a dirty, like that's not a thing I'm interested in.
I think it's like the other thing is like who typically cleans up after when you're a kid? It's like typically your mom, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're in a relationship with someone and they're like cleaning up after you, like taking care of you, like that's just to me that's just like a weird like dynamic.
People, it's awful. But some people like fall into that so readily. They're like, "Well, this is the way it should be." It's like I should just.
I think that like again, I think it's all about fluidity, and it's like sometimes, regardless of who the gender is, it's like one person works a lot more than the other, and so like a lot of some of the domestic duties might fall more onto
whoever's the one not doing that
as much work, especially if you're in a situation where you're sharing income, you're sharing a household. So I think in that scenario, it's less. It shouldn't be about gender. It should be about there's X amount of work that needs to get done in this week. How do we evenly distribute this so it's not like one person doing all the work?
Yeah, teamwork. Who is this? Who's at the door? I'll be right back.
I'm sitting here on my lonesome. Fran is gone. Brad is gone. Andrew's time with the camera. Let's see what I can find on Reddit here. Let's talk about this here. Okay, so in New York, they found enough fentanyl to kill 32 million people in a single bust in New York City. 32 million people, one single drug bust. Who was that?
I don't know. Do you know what company Liberty is?
City? Liberty Security, yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm looking for the homeowner. And I'm like,
we rent.
All these houses on the street are, most of them are rentals, so.
No, I have Liberty because they.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, this segues actually really nicely into a story. We're going to totally abandon the whole gender roles thing.
Okay.
Just because we fucking talked it to death.
Sure.
So Liberty Security, they come give me the free shit, whatever. I'm in a really nice neighborhood, so like I basically never even arm my system unless I'm like out of town or whatever. But like, anyways, get this free system because I'm on a corner, and they're like, yeah, well, whatever. I think I pay like maybe $10 a month or something for monitoring fees. So I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna keep it just so I don't cancel it and then move to a shitty neighborhood where I need the security system and then have to like do this deal because it moves with you. But anyways, so I have the security system. Basically, totally forget about it. It's all run with an app on my phone. I get several new phones. I forget to download the app. One day, Maddie's boyfriend Evan is taking a shower, and part of the security system is there's a carbon monoxide and smoke detector, and he has the door open, and steam. He's in the shower. Steam's rolling out. I'm like half asleep in my bed, and all of a sudden, this fucking siren. Like, louder than the smoke detector. It's like actually like a fucking siren. Like,
Not ignorable.
Not ignorable. Won't shut off. He shuts the shower off. It's still going. My security system is like beeping at me. I get a call from Liberty Security. They're like, oh, like, can I get your whatever code? I'm like, I've never used this, and I set this up 3 years ago. I don't fucking remember. I had to like rattle off a bunch of, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Finally get that. He's like, got verbal code accepted. Now go to your panel and whatever. I'm like, I think this is the code. And like spend like the siren goes off for like an hour. And then after this happens, I'm like, fuck this. I'm canceling my security service. This is fucking bullshit. I don't want to have to deal with this fucking sensitive smoke detector thing scaring the shit out of me. And I go and I wait. I try to find out how to cancel my service. There's nowhere that I can easily see that in my profile or my online, my app, anything like that. I call them. I wait. I wait for like half an hour. I'm like, I'm not waiting for half an hour to call you and cancel my fucking service.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just like, by virtue of I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying to cancel my service, I'm like trapped in this deal with the security company because I don't want to invest any more time.
Yeah, that sounds so much like the South Park episode.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's like, what? I can't
Insecurity?
remember.
Like
they could be raping my mom right now. I could be the rapist.
Yeah.
So funny.
But yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Like I thought it was like an air raid siren or some shit. Like it was so loud. I was so like.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say, but it's like in our house, like the smoke detectors I think have gone off twice, and we just tore them out of the ceiling because we're like, we could not for the life of us figure out how to shut them down because they have no button on them to shut them off. And like, we just couldn't figure it. So we unplugged them, but then the moment we plugged them back in, they just started up again. So we're like, what the fuck? How do you turn these things off? So anyways, we just ripped them out. And like now they just hang from our ceilings because we're like, we'll die. We'll just die. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. This is a comedy podcast. Nothing we say has any bearing on reality. This is jokes.
But it's like, I wonder why they don't have an easy...
Because you're not supposed to
obvious off button.
You're not supposed to be able to shut them off because the idea is they detect things that you might not be able to detect yourself.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about an off switch necessarily. Just a button so that if it's making a noise, just click the button so that it fucking stops.
Yeah, it should. Like again, like typically when you plug them in, they'd make noise for a few seconds to like. So you're like, hello, yep, I'm here, hello, like a test kind of thing. So I don't know if it might have been that, but. Yeah, fucking security companies. I just, one day when I have time, I'm actually going to fucking call them, spend the fucking however long it takes on hold, and cancel my service because it was just so inconvenient. It was just so, well, I guess maybe now that I have my fucking app all sorted out and whatever, it wouldn't be as bad, but like nothing ever happens in my area where I am now. That's going to change in like a couple months when I move, but like, there's nothing like around here. I'd want a security system because it's like,
yeah, it's one of those things. It's like you don't. It's because it's essentially insurance, and it's like you don't.
But I have renter's insurance though, so like, good, steal all my shit, like it's covered. Like,
oh yeah, if you have that kind of stuff, then it's not really a huge deal. I mean,
but I mean, like then you still have to deal with the insurance company and like,
yeah,
it's not like you want people to come steal your shit.
That is a pain in the ass, and it's like Did
you have insurance when all your shit got stolen?
I had some. It was very bizarre. My parents essentially had insurance for me. Like my parents had insurance on their kids' shit or something, because like they got some or other insurance for when I left there. So I had to deal with
your parents' insurance.
Yeah,
company.
and it was like I tried to make a claim, and it was like they were just, like it was just wait like.
I'm just doing hoops to jump through.
Yeah, too obtuse, and like they're not like I can't remember what exactly the problem was, but yeah, no, it was shit. No, I lost all my shit. I didn't get anything back. And like when we tried to deal with insurance, they also just like were like, nah.
Yeah, they definitely just are like trying to do everything they can to not pay you because like their entire profit margin is based upon people not claiming anything or not or being denied. So
no, that was awful. Yeah, robbery sucks. And that's one thing that like, getting your shit stolen is like.
It's one of those things where it's like, I would much rather someone steal from like a business because they're definitely insured. Mm-hmm. So you just steal from some guy, like you fucked that guy's day up.
Well, yeah, because I don't know. It's like you
fuck
spend
that. Like if you think about like stealing someone's like expensive like TV and computer, like that could really fuck their life up.
The computer, it's like I would if I could talk to all the thieves in this world, steal everything.
But the computer.
But the fucking computer.
You're not even going to get any money for it. Like,
it's like...
Again,
it's just like there are things on a computer that like are, in some cases, like
irreplaceable and like valuable to that person beyond.
Yeah, like leave photo albums, leave the computer, take the copper pipes out of the fucking walls for all I care.
I guess the thing is, people who are robbing houses like that, especially like in downtown Vancouver... Like they're just like, I need $20 to fucking shoot heroin now.
Oh yeah,
like,
they don't care. They're just gonna take anything. Yeah. I had jars of pennies and they took all my jars of pennies. It was like,
Good
what
for
are you gonna do with the penny? Like, what?
This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like
this
what?
or like.
It's like the amount of effort
Crack
you're gonna have to
pipe,
go
meth
to
pipe.
to like get those pennies into a workable format is like, that's ridiculous. But yeah, they took all my jars of pennies.
Just watch The Wire.
And it's like, where'd they even put them? It's like I had to think. It's like, because I remember the first time I think they took a backpack of mine and they shoved shit in a backpack. I would assume. But then the second time,
Do you think it was the same person who came back up your place again?
I almost think so, because it was like almost to the week. It was like the same day. So like my theory was that it's a guy who
Goes around
circles
years,
the whole fucking city, and it takes him like a year to get around to the same spot. But he just goes bop, 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 and he has his spots that he hits all year. Because yeah, it was like the same week that it got hit.
That's crazy.
And in the same way. So it was like, I remember the first time my friends were at a amusement park, and then the second time I think neither of us were home or something. I can't remember, but
Fuck.
madness.
Question from Reddit. Not directly to us, just an Ask Reddit question.
Oh yeah.
What is the most, it says not safe for work, but what's the most fucked up thing that you've seen at a party?
Gotta think about this one.
I have one that I didn't see, but is the most fucked up thing I've heard about happening at a party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have mine.
And that is, so for just story, that this, I didn't see this happen. It wasn't there, but I heard about it. In my college, my town I went to university in, apparently at this party, there's a girl who was going to do a beer bong, and these guys had dippers, like spitters full of chew spit, and they poured several, like a bottle and a half of chew spit down the beer bong, and she bonged like a whole thing of chew spit, warm old chew spit, and then projectile vomited all over the party because she just fucking beer bonged chew spit from random people.
That's so fucked up.
It's like that. I could see. I can't see how they would think that's. I can't see thinking that's funny, but that had to have been their motivation. Like, oh, it'll be so funny. She'll.
Oh
whatever.
no, absolutely.
Like,
I saw when I was younger. I saw people piss in a bottle and then make somebody drink it. That was awful.
like make or convince them to.
Oh, convinced. They didn't like hold them down.
Like I was gonna say, like those are two very different things. Like, convince is like I can see why that's maybe kind of funny, but like holding them down and like forcing them to drink your piss.
I just that brutal. Once again, I just like that is like I don't that humor does not tickle me at all.
No, I mean like I can at least see the one though. Like convinced, like I can see why it's like, oh, like we go to drink piss. Like,
I see. The one's way more less like
the other one is just
malicious.
a violent.
Yeah,
like the other one hold them down and make them drink my piss.
Yeah,
hold them down, and make them drink my piss.
Yeah, that's assault at that point. But so I got two. One that I don't know if it's not safe for work, but it's in that category. So I think I told this story in the podcast before. But I went to a party downtown Vancouver in this high rise.
Oh yeah.
Got in an elevator. Essentially accidentally skipped over the one floor it was supposed to be on. Doors open. There's like 9 or 10 cops in the hallway and bricks of cocaine stacked against the walls, and like everybody, and just like I just remember like doors opening, seeing all these cops, seeing all these bricks of cocaine, then close door, and closing, and then going down again. And so that was the one that happened to me that I thought was crazy because it was like something out of a fucking movie. Yeah. But the other one that is actually super fucked up that happened to a friend of mine fairly recently. Good friend of mine's boyfriend was at a club in Regina, I want to say, with some friends of his, and this boyfriend's and some of his friends left the club, heard gunshots, and then this friend of mine got a call from his boyfriend. Boyfriend said, "My friend just got killed, shot, dead."
Holy shit!
Yep. And then that was it. And went to the hospital. Friend's dead. And that was like that. And that's the most that very recently. And
was it targeted or was it just like?
I have no idea. I think I can't imagine because these were like university kids, like white university kids with no like.
And it wasn't like a gay club. Was it a club or was it a?
I'm
just wondering if it was like at one other like.
It might have been a gay club. I think
crime.
I think it was just a club, but I'm not sure.
Wow, that's fucked. Like,
yeah. So that also was...
That's like...
Once again, that happened to a boyfriend of a friend of mine.
Happened to a friend.
Friend.
What's that fucking weird stories or whatever? Freaky stories.
Happened to a friend of a friend of mine.
Yeah.
With the worms.
Yeah, the urban legends.
That was a good show.
It was that and then Tales from the Crypt Keeper after school.
Those are fucking good shows. I guess
Tales
I
from
can
the Crypt
download
Keeper
all
are
the
so
seasons
good.
of those again.
I don't know if they'd hold up.
No, probably not.
Maybe though. They're just urban. They're like pretty, like, known urban legends. They're just like animated. So.
Yeah, some of them are probably fine. I remember some of them freaking the hell out of me when I was a kid. Some of them weren't like, were nothing but.
There was a Tales of the Crypt Keeper one that really fucked with me. About this like hunter going to like hunt this beast, and yeah, that one fucked me a little bit. As far as like most fucked up thing I've actually personally seen at a party. Oh yeah, I was in Quebec visiting a friend at Bishop's University. And we were just out partying. We came back, hanging out in the dorms. We still lived in the dorms at the time. And we hear about this little party, whatever, going on down the hall. And I open the door, and it's literally just a chick sucking some dude's dick. Everyone has their like phones out and they're filming. There's like a room full of people watching this guy get his dick sucked. And so I'm probably in a porn video somewhere in the background, just like open the door, see what's going on. I'm like, oh, nope, shut the door and walk out.
That's so fucking intense.
Because of how the rooms were, it was like they were standing like literally right in front of the door.
Man, like,
so anyone filming would have for sure seen.
Nothing more greasy in the entire world than filming with your phone, somebody like doing it or whatever, or because we were at fucking Crazy Cactus a while ago, and then those two women were fighting or whatever, pulling each other's hair, and then people also started filming with their phones. It's like, you are the greasiest people who have ever lived if you film something like that with your phone. It is like this
like
weird
ignoring it is bad
situation.
Ignoring, especially a fight, ignoring it's bad enough. But at least I can be like, okay, you don't want to get involved in physical altercation.
Yeah.
But then filming it?
It's like, that's so weird. 'Cause it's like, what is your goal with that? Is your goal is to show your buddies later and be like, I saw these chicks
crazy.
It's
like, so fucking crazy.
Oh, you're greasy. You are greasy if you do that. Do not film people. I mean, if two people are fucking and they're like, please film us with your phone. I guess if you're down with it, then it's like it's all consensual or whatever. But if you're filming two people fucking that don't know that you're filming them, you are greasy. And if you film two people fighting that don't know you're filming them or didn't ask you to film them fighting, you are greasy. And you will be treated as such.
How much money would it take for someone to get you to film them fucking? If they're like, Fran, we want you to bring like the lights and the camera, we want a video of us boning.
Oh, it wouldn't take a lot of money at all.
No?
You pay me like a professional setup, you mean?
Well, even like just just like not like with your phone, but like they want you to
just
film.
with the equipment I have, sure. Pay me $1,000 to $1,500. I'll do it.
What about just with your phone? Like no professional equipment. They just want you to film.
That would be uncomfortable for me. I don't think I'd do it.
No?
With the professional equipment, at least there's this barrier.
There's a barrier.
It's like, oh, I gotta get the lights up here and I gotta like get my angles and stuff. With a phone, it's just like, oh goodness, ugh. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, fucking is a beautiful thing, but not if you're somebody who's not involved in any way, and you just have to like. Then all of a sudden, all the sounds are kind of fucked up, and all the shapes. All of a sudden, it's like, what is it? What's that movie? It's like, the Step Brothers, where it's like, you know what? Now the suits are kind of fucked up. When he farts in the thing. Yeah, now I think about it.
I taste onion and ketchup.
Yeah, now the suits are kind of fucked up. Yeah, that's what it would be like. Now that I think about it, this is kind of fucked up. Yeah. Anyways, I got
a boogie.
Be somewhere in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Short podcast to make up for the long one you just watched.
Yeah, it wasn't not too bad though. I think that we're just like 10 or 15 minutes off, so it's not too bad.
And we were just like almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, the last one was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we
exporting that last night was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Took forever. But yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching.
Next week on the Friend Review, we'll be reviewing a movie.
Yes.
Probably Kingsman.
Or this week, I guess.
Yes.
Wait, what? Well, no, this will probably come out after the review. Or this might come out Friday, I guess it could.
No, this one is because your birthday is 73.
74.
No, 73.
74.
So this is 76 then.
This is 75.
So this is supposed to come out
Friday. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What about the other one we filmed?
That one's
Before
coming
your
out
birthday.
today.
So there's one. Oh, we're behind by one. So one.
We're not behind. There was just a misjudgment in numbering, essentially. So now it's like there are three that are coming out in 3 days. Like one came out yesterday, one's coming out today, and one's coming out tomorrow. And then we'll release this one on Friday, and then we can get back to like.
Cool.
Because it's tough. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like when you're like this one has to come out on this day, then it's like if you fucked up the numbering, then it's like oh fuck, that means that these two have to come out before that one because they're already numbered or whatever. So yeah. But yeah, it'll be fine. We're not behind. We're still
trying to make that
hundo.
That hundo, yeah. All right.
See you later.